actually work related, and then oh yeah, and that sky starts to.
It won't play.
Huh?
The card won't play.
What do you mean?
I push play and it's not doing it.
Is there? I
I don't know anything about it.
wouldn't you hit record?
You know how to operate that thing?
So I'd like to get it replaced too. And that was one of the ones we ordered, was to replace Scotty's.
Did you buy it?
I have not heard.
I drove up there to get, just to kind of take a look at it. All I can say is good luck.
Oh,
I inspected one just about that bad on West Brown Gap Mountain years ago. Crawl space on the.
Yeah.
downhills,
yeah.
21.
I don't. Are we the only ones who meet on Monday
That
evening?
was the crawl space.
Yes. That's because we all share attorneys.
Yeah, and that's
So
Just looking.
all the meetings are
Trying to-
on different
I
nights.
think we have two
With the
minutes
exception
to
of
approve
Cat
this month
County and Chattanooga. who are
based on
not.
the email.
Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
yeah. The vice mayor said the same thing. The McKee family said the same thing. They're all driving out to Apis.
that's.
Mm-mm. I do not understand what they're having folks do.
I got a redistrict notice, but we go to the same place, so it may be like Appleton 1, 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to look at that card, but same place. Yeah, I don't. It's 6, and you do have a quorum since it's a 3-person board. I mean,
Give it a minute or two. I mean,
give it a minute.
okay.
We have a quorum with two. Thank you.
Not real bad. I read an article years ago that yellow pollen, that's pine pollen, and that it's not real bad to bother you. It's too big. That's what the article said. And said that what really gets you is like ragweed and stuff, and little small, really small pollen. And it really tears people up. I don't react much to any of it.
We went to Nashville, which is when Nashville. Nashville just it's kind of different.
No, you can sit anywhere. Listen, and then they may have to call you up to the microphone if they have questions and stuff like that. And that's it. You're welcome.
Okay, I am calling to order our Board of Zoning Appeals. We'll start this evening with an invocation. Will you bow your heads with me? Father God, I just want to thank you for this evening to get together to look at the planning and zoning cases that are before us. I just want to thank you for our city. Thank you for the blessing of all the beauty that you're giving us right now through the flowering, everything that's flowering. I just ask for your wisdom as we continue to move forward. Only you know the future, and we lay our plans in your hands. We thank you for being our God. Amen. Roll call, please.
Member Lehman? Member Moody?
Here.
Chairwoman Gray?
Here. And I think we have minutes from September 21 as well as March 2022 to approve this evening. So we'll start with September 2021.
Move to approve.
Okay, roll call, please. I guess maybe I need to second that. And then roll call, please.
Member Moody?
Yes.
Chairwoman Gray?
Yes. And then the minutes for March 2022.
Move to approve.
Second. Roll call, please.
Member Moody?
Yes.
Chairwoman Gray?
Yes. And with no old business, we'll go straight to new business. We have case BZA 2022-04 on Bowen Trail, a front setback reduction request.
I wonder if we need to take that light down in the middle. You can see it, okay. Thank you. Good evening. The business for you before you tonight, as you see, is BZA case 2022-04. That is MR is incorrect. That's the next case. But the property in question is 9671 Bowen Trail. The petitioner requests a variance from Chapter 5 of the zoning ordinance, which controls front setbacks on properties. The zoning is R1L, single family low density residential district. As you can see, the size of the property is about 20,567 square feet per the plat. And the road frontage on Bowen Trail is around 95 feet, and it's roughly 220 feet deep from Bowen Trail at the property line to the rear of the property. And looking at the information, when this subdivision was platted in 1970, the zoning was indicated on the plat as being agricultural. The subject property was subsequently rezoned to R1L at an indeterminate time. Staff was not able to pinpoint exactly when that took place. It's quite possibly it was in the mid-90s when Collegedale assumed its own planning planning commission functions from the regional planning agency downtown. But was not made. We weren't able to determine that. The property itself, this is the property, subject property. As you can see, it fronts Bowen Trail, which is two segments of one way. And let's see if we can zone that out just a little bit. Some things to consider on the property that we did look. The approximate elevation. This is key to the staff's understanding of the property. The approximate elevation at Bowen Trail is around 1,224 feet above mean sea level at Bowen Trail, which is the front of the property. And the rear property elevation is 1,137 feet approximately above mean sea level. So, just looking at your quick rise over run, that's around a 39% slope along the entire length of the property, the 222 feet or 220 feet, give or take. So that is quite a slope even for this area. And moving, well, there we go. Sometimes it wants to reset. Here are some images of the condition. This is from Google Street View. There is one existing structure that is just to the south of the subject property. It is already a structure built there. The middle picture gives you approximately where the subject property is, and as you can see, even from the picture, the slope that does begin to fall off. And this is looking south, back along Bowen Trail. You can see the arrows for the subject property. And so the slope is apparent even on the bank, the median between the sections of Bowen Trail. One thing I want to bring to your attention and to everyone who's here with us tonight is that Tennessee state law controls the method in which variances to zoning issues can be granted. There are 5 essential questions under state law that must be answered. And so the italics, in granting a variance, the board shall ascertain that the following criteria are met as outlined in subsection 3 of Tennessee Code annotated. So let's go through these just for the benefit of this property and those here. Variances shall be granted only where special circumstances or conditions fully described in the finding of the board do not apply generally in the district. So, so anything that the board decides needs to be specifically called out in your discussion and in any approval or disapproval. Variances shall not be granted to allow use which would otherwise be excluded from the particular district which requested. That's not the case here. The request is for a single-family home, not a commercial dwelling or anything that would be a change of use that would not otherwise be allowed in the zone. For reasons fully set forth in the findings of the board tonight, the circumstances of conditions are such that the strict application of the provisions of this ordinance would deprive the applicant of any reasonable use of his land. Mere loss of value shall not justify a variance. There must be a deprivation of beneficial use of land. And the granting of any variance shall be in harmony with the general purposes and intent of this ordinance and shall not be injurious to the neighborhood, detrimental to the public welfare, or in conflict with a comprehensive plan for development. And in reviewing an application for a variance, the burden of showing that the variance should be granted shall be upon the person applying therefore. And staff looks at the application and we make a recommendation based on the facts that we've been presented to us and then we've been able to uncover. And then the ultimate decision does come from the board. So that is the quick staff recommendation, or not actually a recommendation, but a finding of facts that were in the packet, more extensively described in your packet. And as you can see, the adjacent zoning is consistent with this property, and that is not the issue. Adjacent land uses are either vacant or single-family home. That is not the issue. Infrastructure is in place. And so ultimately, the question is, the applicant is asking for a front setback reduction from 35 feet, which is normally required in this zone, to 10 feet. And the reason being is that they are asking to place a new home much closer to the road. If they place it any further, it will be difficult to build a driveway due to the steep grade, which we discussed. And the lot and actually the lot being only 95 feet does not give the opportunity really for switchbacks to lessen the impact of that grade. So that is one other impact that this property does or one issue that this property does contend with. And it is a lot of record, as we noted, created in 1970, so that it is a legal lot of record and would normally be a buildable lot, but it does have these topographical challenges, which are central to the question tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. If the applicant is present, would you like to come up to the microphone and add any details, or that's optional? Okay.
I think I'm good. Thank you so much for explaining it very well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Not really.
Okay.
I went up, looked at it on the topos and everything. Yeah, it's definitely got a hardship. And there's other houses there along the street that's closer than what he's wanting to do. So
Gotcha. Now, does the city find that somewhere in the packet I read that the applicant was willing to do some parallel parking spaces up at the street level? Is that engineering wise acceptable to the city? And Okay.
That's been done on Bowen Trail several times.
okay. Okay. If there's no further questions, I'm ready to. Would anybody like to come up to the microphone? You would just need to say your name and address. If you'd like to speak to the case, or if you have any concerns about the case, you are also welcome to come up and talk about it. And just your name and address, please.
Mark Boyson, 9675 Bowen. So you're looking at my house, and I'm fine with it. I think it's acceptable in my opinion as a neighbor.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm first time at this kind of meeting.
Okay, yeah, just
And,
say your name and address.
Well, my name is Alexei Kustov.
Okay.
I am the owner of the property
Okay,
in the
you're our applicant.
9671 Bowen Trail. Yes, we purchased the land in last summer. And I just wanted to thank everyone for making such a good presentation. I'm really impressed with the professionalism and everything. Just thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Name and address, please.
Sam Schrosch, 4115 Stratton Lane. We're adjacent up there to Bowen.
Okay.
The question I have is, the request is to bring it down from 35 to 10 feet.
Mhm.
Is there any possible way that it could be halfway between those two numbers? 10 feet is very close to the road. It's as far from here to that sign. And I can't understand how the parking is going to play part. If they're going to put parking in front, that's on the side as well. So that means it's going to be the house will be like 5 feet, 6 feet away from the parking, possibly.
Okay,
So I'm just concerned about, is there a possibility you can have a halfway agreement
okay,
between the two? Thank you.
okay. Thank you for your comment.
For
I'll pass that to
clarification-
staff.
For clarification, the setback is off the right-of-way line, not the existing asphalt.
Okay,
And so there will be room within the right-of-way to create the parallel parking spaces before you get to the edge of the right-of-way.
okay. Thank you for that clarification. Okay, I am ready to entertain a motion.
May I
Or-
say?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I think, Commissioner Moody has a,
I was getting ready to make
the analysis that was provided, the staff analysis, is in the packet, and that is, it follows the state law.
Okay.
And if you have any particular issue with those, or having any particular questions with that, I would assume that that's the motion that you would be making, either to accept that or to deny that.
Mhm. Okay, thank you for that clarification.
I move to approve.
Okay. And I will second that. And we're ready for a roll call.
Member Moody,
Yes.
Chairwoman Gray,
Yes. And that ends our Board of Zoning Appeals. Thank you all for attending this evening.